bit. To engage in activities enthusiastically and stay focused. Both of those are kind of opposite from each other, so we want some excitement. Okay, Sean? Thank you. Good. And we want to stay focused. But to be open to different perspectives and other points of view, share in our responsibility of the success of today's discussions and our work, and to limit our side conversations. But you'll have lots of time to meet with everybody at your table and come up with lots of ideas. So, do these sound like this will work for the morning? Do we need anything else on there?
Chocolate cake.
We want chocolate cake.
I think if we put something like that up to the students each day.
Right. Well, and that's something that we try to do in the leadership classes that I teach, is we set expectations from day one and leave them posted for students every day.
Don't mind if we plagiarize that then.
No, not at all. My last name is spelled. I'm kidding. So, general learning outcomes. We have 5 general learning outcomes for this morning. Looking at a way to understand generational differences, again focusing on millennial students. Understanding how this compares to our Desert Vista students. We'll touch on this a little bit. If you remember, there was a great presentation that Dr. Albrecht gave in the fall, I believe it was in August, with an entire list and graphs and data, all describing our PCC Desert Vista students. So we won't get into great detail about that, but we can always discuss that and come up with that information for you if you need to, a reminder of things. We're also going to be sharing and developing new instructional strategies. I want you to walk away with something today, not just thinking that, wow, Matt has a nice tie on, but more about thinking, how can I take this information and use this with our students? How can we be more effective? And that's not to say that I'm going to share all the new information with you. As I said, some of you already do this, so we want to hear from you as well. Again, to establish at least one new way to integrate technology into your current instructional strategies. And we're trying to push the envelope a little bit more than checking email or something a little bit on the cutting edge side. In addition, I should say finally, we're strengthening our holistic approach to work with students. In my field in student affairs, when I was studying at the U of A, getting my master's degree there, we talked about how there's always this boundary between student affairs and academic affairs. And at universities, it's very difficult to cross those boundaries because it's a massive university. At the U of A, you're talking about, what, 38,000 students? Well, now they're cutting lots of staff, so I don't even know what the numbers are there. But here at Desert Vista, what I have found, and in Pima overall, at all the campuses, is that it's a little bit easier because most of the time we're in the same building. And we can find each other. And working in a student life office, we are the central hub of a lot of things happening on campus, whether that is students coming in and doing activities, whether that's people just coming in to see if we have food, and that's faculty, staff, and students. But we are there. So that helps us in location in itself, but there needs to be more, and we'll talk about that. If my name comes to mind, that's okay. Okay, you have some in mind? Great. Now, wouldn't it be great if all students were like this person? Right. But the reality is they're not. The truth is, all the students are different. Everybody has a different story. So even as we talk about millennial students and we group them together, or we talk about traditionalist students or veterans, yeah, we can group them because so even the idea of millennials, the time has changed. All those years are different, but like I said, we'll go with what is here today. And if you want more details, we can get into a longer conversation over lunch this afternoon. So, but if we look toward general characteristics, silent traditionalists, veterans, 1901, 1942, baby boomers, 1943 and 1960, Generation Xers, 61 to 81, and millennials, also known as Generation M. The scenario that I give you. And what you'll find on there is some information and general ideas of how we work with millennial students in some different ways. Taking some of the tools that I've provided this morning, taking some of the ideas that you provided as well, and figuring out ways to work with critical thinking skills, to work with plagiarism and cheating. We'll come to that in a moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll be back in a second. 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're also group 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the back.
I don't suppose you can put this on the screen.